friends, today I want to talk to you about my 10 things I can't live without in my garden. And when I say that, I truly mean it. All of those items I use for years and I can't live without them. They really make my garden life easier. They are very, very helpful in a lot of things, from the small things I have on this list to the large things I have on this list. And I want to walk you through those today. And if you're curious, I have the links to those products in the description as well, so it's easy to find for you. But let's get started. Let's start on the bottom of the list with number 10. This is a really, really good watering can, which I have finally found. This is the Gardener Supply 3-gallon watering can over there. What I love about it, it really waters softly. You can use it on seedlings. It doesn't hurt. The flow is really, really nice and really, really soft. And it really has a large opening, because what I use my watering cans most for throughout the season is to apply soluble fertilizer. So I need really a good wide opening to be able to put this fertilizer in and to be able to clean it after to use it for normal things. So this watering can is really something what you should have in your garden. Bye. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9 are my garden stakes. You don't know how often I use those stakes. I use them to stake my peppers, which we don't have yet in the garden, but will soon. So at the moment I use them mostly to stake up any type of fencing I have around here. Sometimes I use them to hold up some shade cloth and attach that to that. So they are so versatile, so long lasting. I got one package of, I think, like 25 stakes of 4 feet or so. And I got that in 2020 and keep reusing it. One little word of caution here though, which I would recommend, is after the season, when you know you had some plants on it which might have had powdery mildew or any other disease or problem touching it, I would wipe them off in the beginning of the season with just some bleach or some other cleaner to ensure that you're not transferring the last year's problems to this year's garden season. Number 8 is up. Those are my clams. These little teeny tiny clams, I don't know how often I use them. I do not treat them very well. Some of them overwinter in their garden, where I just let them be too tired to collect them, whatever, didn't see them, whatever. They get a little rusty over time, but still work. And when you see the price tag for them, it's really not that expensive, and they're really, really long lasting. The first ones I got 2 years ago, and again, they mostly live outside. Usually I do collect them in the winter, not everything, but usually I do collect them in the winter, have them inside, but otherwise they make it through all of those New England temperatures and weathers we have here, with all the swings and the heat and the water and the hot sun, etc., and hold up very, very well. So those are definitely recommended if you need to hold up any type of fencing, any type of cover. Those are my trusty clamps in that regard. Number 7, my garden staples. I don't know how many staples I have sunken in my garden, mostly for irrigation purposes. So they are really, really great to hold down irrigation lines, right? But also if you have areas where you want to use landscaping fabric, you need something to keep them in place. Those are really, really great. I usually buy them in a 500 package from Amazon, and I do need a package every year. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with them or where I'm putting them all, but I do use them a lot, and they are really, really great. Make sure you get true galvanized ones so they are not all rusting away. My first package, I just looked at them and they started rusting, even though they were supposed to be galvanized, but they clearly weren't. So these ones are now 2 seasons in already, in and out of the garden. They don't look the freshest anymore, but still perfectly fine and functional as well. So those are really, really helpful whenever you need to keep something in place. I use those ones also for my tomato lower and lean, where I put the little twine on and just plug it in the ground and things like that. You won't believe how often you use those ones. Number 6 is my trusty trowel from Gorilla Tools. I have many other small little trowels, but I always find myself looking for this one. It is sharp, goes really nicely into the ground, easy. Be careful a little bit with the knife side on the side here. I did cut 1 or 2 irrigation lines with it. It's really easy when you just cut into a line with this one, so you got to be careful in this regard, but it is really amazing. Also, like 3 years in a row now using it, and it looks still like new, except it's dirty because it's used almost every single day in my garden. Item number 5 are all my red Gorilla Tubtrugs. I have them in many different colors, shapes, sizes, all of it. This one is a shallow one. This is the one I have probably the most in multiple different colors. They come like in all colors of the rainbow. I love them, but I use them for pruning, for like when I need to move stuff back and forth, like dirt or so, in places where I can't take my cart in. When I have to clean stuff, when I have to plant stuff, like there's always a use for them. I literally have like 10 of them in like very different colors, so I have them all placed around the garden. Even have some itty bitty small ones. It's amazing what you can do with them. And when I meant I have them in all colors, I do have them in all colors. So those ones are really one item I can't live without. I'll probably have this year actually a few where I put holes in it, because sometimes I'm letting them go gross a little bit more than I want them to be, but let just stuff sit in there, and then it rains and then it sits longer, and then you can imagine how gross that situation gets. But so I'll probably put a few holes in it so those are able to drain. But they are amazing. You just give them a good scrub and rinse them out, and they're good to go. They're like indestructible. Really love them. So number 4 are my Snips, or the one I have over here, the Felco 310. It is the one which I end up using the most, and I usually have that always in the pocket of my bib, ready to get it out and get snipping, pruning, whatever. I think those, if you are on the fence of getting a Felco, this is the one I would recommend, because it's the one which you can use for the most. You can use it for delicate snipping, but it has also the power to really cut some larger larger little branches where you not necessarily need directly a pruner or so. It's really the one which I use by far the most. But I gotta say, I have almost the entire Felco line these days at home and love them, all of them. They are wicked sharp when you get them. Last year I cut myself with one. Always look and see where you cut it, and avoid cutting in your finger. But that's what I like them for, because they cut so well, right? And if you could take good care of them, cleaning them every once in a while and sharpening them here and there, they will last a lifetime with you. Number 3 are all my garden gloves from DIGZ. I love them so much. I think I have easily 10 pairs. They get well loved. They usually last me about 2 seasons, but I wear them hard and I wear them wild and I wear them for almost anything I do. So they are not getting spared. So I love them. They also fit me very well. I'm quite tall, so I do have large hands, but skinny hands and long hands. So it always takes me a while to find fitting gloves, but those in a large size fits like a glove. Pun fully intended. For that reason, I have literally like almost every color, every pattern. They also are pretty, and the cool thing is they are they come with a touch screen. This rubs off for me after 1 season, I gotta say, so that doesn't last so long for me, because it's just a little bit more light or skinny fabric, which provides this touchscreen ability. But otherwise, again, like I rough them up pretty hard and they go with me, and they protect my hands very well. So go get some. And we're coming here up to number 2, my Gorilla cart. I love this cart so much, and if you ever had an old school like wheelbarrow wonking around and moving a lot of soil with it, you really know what I mean with that. It's just not a pleasant experience. But that Gorilla cart, it's awesome. It also attaches to our ride-on or sit-on lawnmower, so if we want to move larger amounts of soil, we can do that. There's a little attachment on the back. It's amazing. We have it now. Also, this was one of the first garden equipment pieces I got for us, because we had to move a lot of soil for all my garden beds. And yeah, it was worth every penny. It's still holding up nice. The wheels are still great. I think we had to pump up one or so, but they're still all in an amazing shape. And with our little slope here and our like large areas which we have to cover with the cart, I wouldn't think twice to get additional carts if we needed more. But this one is just perfect. It holds up, and it actually also sits out all winter long, and it just weathers well with us. So this is an amazing tool which I can just recommend. And then we're coming to item number 1 on my list, the top contender. This is my Hoselink. I wish I had gotten it sooner. I was literally thinking 2 years about it before I finally got it, and it's actually not that expensive for the value it brings to me in my garden. I love how it always zips up again. It is perfection. We had it all last season, and it overwintered and just got back, and it works just as good as last year. I do have it here with a jam attachment, so I have a watering one, so I can water at the bottom of like on the soil level and not overhead. Yeah, and it's the perfect combo. It's like, if you think about it, don't think about it, just get it and you will thank me later. I love this thing to pieces.